He entered as a prisoner. He walked out as a lawyer, witnessed the ultimate revenge against a broken system, fighting for the truth with nothing but a law book.
Welcome to Vital Life Stories. Today, we explore a remarkable journey of a man who fought for justice from inside a prison. Imagine losing 10 years of your precious life for a terrible crime you absolutely did not commit, under any circumstances whatsoever. The heavy iron doors closed, sealing away his youth, his dreams, and his freedom in a cold, unforgiving, and completely dark tomb. A full decade is not just time. It is a brutal erosion of human spirit, physical strength, and pure mental endurance. Every single day felt like a heavy mountain crushing his soul, while the outside world completely forgot about his miserable, isolated existence. He could have easily surrendered to the endless despair, letting the flawed justice system completely destroy his remaining hope and innocent soul. Instead of crying in the dark shadows, he made a powerful choice to transform his terrible tragedy into an unstoppable, burning weapon. He realized that physical freedom was completely meaningless without reclaiming his stolen honor and proving his absolute innocence to the entire world. His extraordinary journey began not with a violent riot, but with a quiet, determined walk toward the dusty, forgotten prison library room. Hidden among those forgotten shelves were the complex rules and strict codes that had wrongfully condemned him to this dark, lonely hell. Opening that heavy legal dictionary was like unlocking a secret door in his mind, revealing a challenging path toward ultimate, glorious redemption. The complex legal jargon seemed like an impossible foreign language at first, completely overwhelming his tired brain during those long, silent nights. He struggled to comprehend the complicated statutes, feeling the immense weight of the massive judicial system actively working against his desperate survival. With a tiny pencil stub, he carefully documented every single contradiction in his case, turning raw anger into sharp, focused intellectual power. Years slowly passed by, taking away his youth, but simultaneously sharpening his brilliant mind into an incredibly dangerous weapon for absolute truth. His tiny concrete cell gradually transformed into a chaotic but brilliant legal office, filled with thousands of handwritten notes and detailed arguments. One cold midnight, he finally discovered a crucial procedural error in his original trial, a tiny mistake that could change absolutely everything. He began drafting his very first appeal, pouring his entire soul and newfound knowledge onto the cheap, fragile paper provided by guards. Handing that precious envelope to the skeptical prison guard felt like sending a tiny message in a bottle across a massive ocean. Weeks later, the painful rejection letter arrived, striking his heart with the brutal reality that the legal system strongly resists admitting mistakes. He refused to let one failure destroy his spirit, knowing perfectly well that true justice requires incredible patience and absolute, unwavering persistence. He dove back into the massive law books, analyzing higher court decisions and studying complex precedents that could strongly support his argument. His vast legal knowledge soon became legendary inside the cold prison walls, allowing him to generously help other inmates fight their cases. He meticulously prepared a second, much stronger petition, ensuring that every single legal argument was completely bulletproof and impossible to easily dismiss. The heavy package left the dark prison gates, carrying the desperate hopes of a deeply wronged man demanding his fundamental human rights. A distant appellate judge opened the thick file, completely astonished by the brilliant legal reasoning crafted by an uneducated man behind bars. The judge carefully reviewed the undeniable evidence presented in the document, slowly realizing that a terrible miscarriage of justice had actually occurred. When the official court order finally arrived at his cell, the heavy silence of the prison block felt completely different and electric. He had successfully won the rare right to a new hearing, proving that raw intellect could actually pierce through solid iron bars. Preparing for the crucial court date, he carefully adjusted his cheap suit, feeling the immense historical weight of his upcoming legal battle. Entering the grand courtroom in heavy metal chains, he felt the intense, judgmental stares of people who still believed he was guilty. He bravely chose to represent himself, standing completely alone against the powerful state prosecutors who had stolen a decade of his life. The confident prosecutor delivered a harsh, aggressive opening statement, attempting to quickly crush the spirit of this seemingly helpless and uneducated prisoner. When it was finally his turn to speak, the entire courtroom fell completely silent, expecting a desperate, emotional, and illogical angry outburst. Instead, he delivered a brilliantly structured legal argument, citing specific obscure precedents and exposing the fatal flaws in the original police investigation. The experienced prosecutors were absolutely stunned, frantically searching through their thick files to counter the flawless logic of a self-taught genius. He systematically dismantled the false testimonies, proving beyond any reasonable doubt that the original trial was a complete failure of basic justice. The presiding judge leaned forward with genuine respect, realizing that this extraordinary man knew the complex law better than the licensed attorneys. Every single night of painful study, every moment of dark despair, and every rejected appeal had perfectly prepared him for this victory. He concluded his powerful defense not by begging for mercy, but by firmly demanding the immediate restoration of his completely stolen honor. A profound silence filled the large room, as his final, echoing words deeply touched the hearts of everyone present in the courtroom. The judge slowly closed the heavy file, taking a deep breath before finally addressing the man who had fought so incredibly hard. The court officially recognized the severe errors made a decade ago, formally declaring that this innocent man had suffered an unimaginable injustice. With one decisive strike of the wooden gavel, the judge completely overturned the wrongful conviction, instantly granting him his long-awaited freedom. The heavy metal chains were finally unlocked and removed, falling to the wooden floor with a loud crash that symbolized absolute victory. He stood up slowly, feeling the incredible lightness of true freedom, knowing he had successfully rescued himself from a dark, endless nightmare. Walking down those grand courthouse steps, the warm, bright sunlight touched his face for the very first time as a free citizen. Reporters quickly surrounded him, eager to hear the incredible story of the brave prisoner who legally defeated the entire flawed justice system. He did not express bitter anger or violent revenge. Instead, he proudly held up the old law book that saved his life. The emotional reunion with his aging family was incredibly beautiful, washing away 10 long years of profound sadness and terrible, silent suffering. He finally experienced the simple, beautiful joys of life again, appreciating the gentle breeze and the vibrant green trees around the park. His amazing journey did not end with his personal freedom. He passionately decided to officially pursue a professional degree in criminal law. Sitting among young law students, his unique perspective and profound real-world experience made him an incredibly inspiring figure in the classroom. He dedicated his entire new life to fiercely defending innocent people who were trapped and forgotten inside the same brutal justice system. Every single case he accepted was a personal mission to ensure that nobody else would ever suffer the terrible injustice he endured. He had successfully transformed his darkest tragedy into a powerful beacon of hope, proving that human resilience can overcome any massive obstacle. True honor is never given freely by society. It is bravely earned through relentless struggle, profound knowledge, and an unbreakable human spirit. His remarkable story reminds us that even in the absolute darkest moments, the powerful light of truth and knowledge will eventually prevail. We must never surrender our dignity, because our minds hold the extraordinary power to break any physical chains and rebuild our lives. Thank you for watching this incredible journey. Please subscribe to Vital Life Stories for more powerful tales of human resilience and triumph.